A CPSR is required for every cosmetic product placed on the market in the European Union or in Great Britain. It has to exist before the first unit is supplied, whether you sell it or give it away. There is no small batch exemption in the regulation, no exemption for free samples, no first product exemption. Whether that duty falls on you is a second question, and it has a different answer. The obligation is Article 10, Paragraph 1 of Regulation 1223/2009. Prior to placing a cosmetic product on the market, the responsible person must ensure it has undergone a safety assessment and that a safety report is set up in accordance with Annex 1. Skip it, and the product is non-compliant from the first unit supplied. Article 25 names the Article 10 safety assessment as a ground for corrective action, withdrawal from the market, or recall within a stated time limit, commensurate with the nature of the risk. 3 questions decided. The framing is this video's. The first 2 are definitions in Article 2. The third is a rule in Article 4. 1. Is the product a cosmetic? 2. Is it being made available on the market? Those 2 decide whether the product needs a CPSR at all. 3. Are you the responsible person? That one decides whether the duty to ensure it exists falls on you. They are not the same question. Article 2, Paragraph 1, Point A. A cosmetic product is any substance or mixture intended to be placed in contact with the external parts of the human body, or with the teeth and the mucous membranes of the oral cavity, with a view exclusively or mainly to cleaning them, perfuming them, changing their appearance, protecting them, keeping them in good condition, or correcting body odors, exclusively or mainly. That is the phrase doing the work. Paragraph 2 then removes anything intended to be ingested, inhaled, injected, or implanted into the human body. Falling outside does not necessarily remove an obligation. It may move it. Recital 6 says the regulation relates only to cosmetic products and not to medicinal products, medical devices, or biocidal products. Article 2, Paragraph 1, Point G. Making available on the market means any supply of a cosmetic product for distribution, consumption, or use on the community market in the course of a commercial activity, whether in return for payment or free of charge. 2 qualifiers, cutting in opposite directions, in the course of a commercial activity. Make a balm for your own use, and there is no supply at all. Give one away to promote a brand, and there is, whether in return for payment or free of charge. A press sample, a launch giveaway. Supply is supply. Point H adds the timing. Placing on the market is the first making available, and Article 10 says prior to. The report is not due at that moment. It has to already exist. This is where the search results are worst. The EU text ends at Article 40. Not one of those articles sets a batch size, turnover, or producer size threshold for the Article 10 requirement. Nothing turns on whether a product is handmade or made to order or the first thing you ever sold. It does set thresholds elsewhere. Article 19, Paragraph 1, Point B, packaging containing less than 5 grams or 5 milliliters, free samples, single application packs. None of those has to declare its nominal content. That is a labeling relief. It is not a safety assessment relief. Professional only does not help either. Article 2, Paragraph 1, Point F defines the end user as either a consumer or a professional. Salon only is still a cosmetic product on the market. Article 10 puts the duty on the responsible person. Article 4 decides who that is across 4 routes. Which one applies depends on where the product was manufactured, whether it was exported and imported back, where each party in the chain is established, whether it is imported, and whose name is on it. That last one cuts both ways. Marketing a product under your own name or trademark is part of what makes you the manufacturer, and a distributor becomes the responsible person where it puts a product out under its own name or trademark, or modifies one already on the market in a way that may affect compliance. If you are the responsible person, the CPSR is your obligation. Your manufacturer can compile the data. The duty does not transfer with the invoice. Same safety report requirement. Different market, different establishment rules. In the Great Britain text, Article 10, Paragraph 1 reads the same. So does point G, with the market of Great Britain put in place of the community market. The EU text still says community, not union. Article 4 is what changed, and the whole of it was rewritten. Paragraph 1 carries the headline, "A cosmetic product may not be placed on the market unless there is a responsible person established in the United Kingdom." Annex 1 is unchanged, so what the report has to contain does not move. What moves is where the responsible person has to be established. For products placed on the Northern Ireland market, EU 1223/2009 continues to apply. If the answer is yes, the sequence follows from what the report needs. Finalize the formula. Compile the information Annex 1 requires. 10 sections in Part A, including stability, microbiological quality, and the toxicological profiles of the substances. Some of it you will generate. Some already exists. Article 10 asks for weight of evidence review of data from all existing sources. How much microbiological and preservation testing that means depends on the product. The Commission's Annex 1 guidelines draw that line, and Video 2 walks it. Then a qualified assessor writes Part B. The assessor cannot conclude without the relevant information, which is why the data comes first. And Article 10, Paragraph 1, Point C. The report is finished before the product is placed on the market, then kept up to date in view of additional relevant information generated after it is placed. If you need a CPSR for your product, the link in the description is where to start. This is the cosmetic file. This channel is supported by MySwissLab. Educational only. Check with a qualified safety assessor for your own product.